Join me here today as I just kind of walk you through my day as a day trader, trading full time, showing you what I look for and seeing if we can't find any opportunities for some trades. And so I start out on a daily time frame here. This is on SPY, and I am just looking to see what levels do I want to pay attention to, where are going to be some big opportunities and areas that are going to show me clear sentiment. And so clearly we have the 10 EMA right here. We've bounced off of it once yesterday. We just bounced off of it this morning again right now. I always give the markets about an hour or so just to show me who's in control and let the markets reveal their hand a little bit. So I also have a huge level at 590. 590 is a massive call wall. It's an options level. Lots of calls are sitting there at 590. So I know that if we start getting up above that, we're going to start to flip into some positive gamma, which means the market's going to start feeding on themselves. The market makers have, and the big money has a lot of sold options right there, which means they make money as long as it stays below 590. If it starts to get above 590, then they have to start buying their own options to hedge this. They have to start buying calls, which feeds on itself. The more calls are in the markets, the higher it goes, and it's kind of like a runaway freight train. And so 590 is my line in the sand for the bulls today. I really, really like that level. And so now if we start to zoom in here on a 15-minute time frame, you'll notice that this 590 mark has been held up all week long. It is a huge resistance. When we've gotten above it, we have not maintained it, and it acted as a strong resistance all day yesterday. So now we've got a really nice engulfing 15-minute candle here for the bulls. We pulled back into a very strong support. Bulls stepped in. That's that 10 EMA on a daily. And so now I'm just sitting back and going, okay, I expected bulls to come in. I have trend. Trend is bullish. And so I want to lean a little bit more bullish on my bias today. We'll see how it actually plays out. Do I have momentum? I will have momentum if we can get a strong close up above 590 here on like a 5 or 15-minute time frame. So I've got that in order here for me to be able to go, okay, move up above that. I'll have that clear momentum. And now it's just a setup. How can I set myself up to be able to lose small and win big? So where would my targets be for the day? I'd be looking for it to come back into 595 to 597 here. That's my target for the day. So if I've got that as my target, I now have an idea of where I want to get to. I want to make twice the amount that I'm risking. So I need to simply be able to get in at an entry and have a risk in place where the reward is twice the amount as this, which this of course is. It's a massive risk reward on this one. So that's why I'm even interested in trading on this. And so I am simply just going to start marking out levels, right? Put alerts up here around 590. So that way I don't have to sit in front of these charts. I also want to put some alerts here at 588. So again, as I go out, I can live my life, go work out here. That's normally what I'll end up doing, is go work out here at the house, spend some time with family, hang out until these alerts go off. When these alerts go off, it sends a notification to my phone. I then will come back knowing that these important levels are starting to get broke. Bulls, in my opinion, should be holding 588.50 now. So I'm going to have an alert there. If we start getting back below that, that's going to tell me we might just be chopping and there's not going to be a whole lot of momentum today because, again, trend is bullish. I'm going to do my best to lean bullish. I could potentially find some bear day trades, but I want to stay with my bias here and remain bullish on today because that's where I believe the move is going to come if it's going to happen. So we are still rejecting off of this 590 mark. I've got alerts here. What I want to start to look at, can the bulls strongly close up above this? You'll notice that we haven't really been able to close strongly above this. So if they do, I don't want to buy up here. Why do I not want to buy up here? Because my risk reward is not great. So if this is going to get a whole bunch of lines on the charts all over the place, but we'll go over these here in a second. If I buy up here and my stop needs to be down where I know I'm wrong, my risk reward up to 595 is only 1.5 hours, meaning I'm only getting 1.5 times what I'm risking. That's not great. I don't want that. If I could just wait for a better entry down here, now I'm getting a 3-to-1 risk reward. That is so much better. And the only difference is instead of me getting in up here, I'm getting in on a pullback down here. And so what I want to do, I want to wait for the bulls to strongly claim their levels. Once they show me their hand, they show me that they are able to claim this spot that they couldn't claim yesterday, And it's a big options level, which I know it's going to start feeding on itself. Now I can start planning my entry to get in. If it takes off without me, it takes off without me. I don't care. I don't care to be in a trade that only gives me a small risk reward. I would rather get missed on that trade than to be in a trade where if it works, I'm not making all that much money compared to what I'm risking, because there is no guarantee out there that this trade works, right? Just because we close up above this and pull back does not mean anything. It's still about a 50-ish% chance of winning. So I have to look at that as I have just as much of a chance to lose on this trade than I do to win. So I want to account for how much I'm risking as well, just in case I do not win. I think people really struggle in trading because they only look at the reward and they fail really to look at what they're risking. So that's my game plan. Now that I have some key levels marked out that'll show me clear support and resistances, clear momentum, clear control, I want to wait for the markets to show me their hand and show me control. And then I just need them to follow through, meaning I need higher highs and higher lows to come into this market. If we can get follow through, I will make a lot of money today. If not, I will lose small. That's the only two things that I can control. I can control how long I stay in a trade, and I can control how quickly I cut a loser. So that's what I focus on, and that's what I judge myself on with my trading. I don't judge wins and losses as success and failures because I can't control that. I can't make this market go up and I can't make it go down, but I can control how much I lose when it disagrees with me, and I can control how much I win whenever it agrees. So by the way, my friends, if you would like to learn how to trade, if you would like to come join us in our trading community, check out the links down below. We have free courses to teach you how to trade, to teach you how to start looking at charts, how to start analyzing, how to start thinking like a professional trader. Stop worrying about wins and losses and being scared to lose money. Start focusing on losing small and winning big, accepting the loss. Changing that mindset is going to unlock so much more success in your trading. So again, Real Life Trading, we've been around for over 10 years teaching people how to trade successfully. We are known all over the world, and we are here to help you as well. So check out the links down below. Again, free courses. Come join our trading community if you'd like and be a part of what we're doing here. So I have my setup here now on the markets. I have my levels that I'm watching. Could I get in a little bit early? Yes. I feel like this move is showing me that the bulls are trying to take over, and I do expect some type of higher low to come in. But I really want to wait for this level really to get closed across first. And so I want the bulls to step in strong, and then I'll look to plan my entries to take this back up into about that 595 range on SPY today and see if we can't make any easy money. And I'll also post all these trades over to my group here at Real Life Trading that trade alongside me in the All Access Pass. It's a monthly subscription where you can come trade right alongside us. Again, we are not here to just to give you trades. It's not what we want to do. We're all about education. I want to teach you why I'm getting into this trade. And if you want to take trades based on some other stuff, great, take it. If it makes you money and helps you pay for all this stuff, great. But really our focus here is to teach you how to do it. It's to teach you how to lose small, and it's to teach you how to win big. It's to teach you how to be successful over 100 trades and help you to be a lot more of a consistently profitable trader. So this is where I'm going to leave it right now. I've done my analysis. I've got my levels that I'm going to be watching, and we're just going to sit back and wait and see where these markets want to go. There is still a strong resistance here. There's a chance that we could be getting pulled back up and dropping back down. Again, I expect bulls to hold this level now that we've claimed it. So if the bulls start to fail below 588.50, then that could actually open the door for some bear trades, because we could be taking out some of these strong supports and going a lot lower. So for right now, I've got my alerts out there. I'm going to go work out. If the alerts go off, I will come back and we will give an update on the markets from there, and I'll show you what game plan I'm planning on doing, how I look at playing it. I'm going to do this with some day trading options that expire today. That's how I like to day trade SPY. I'll walk you through my game plan on how I do that and what I'm looking at. But first things first, my friends, don't just try to make money. Try to find the momentum. If you don't apply the strategy at the right time, you will never succeed in trading. And people fall to this all the time. They show up and they try to make money. Money is not going to happen if you are chasing it, right? You have to find the momentum. You have to find the trend, and you have to be able to give yourself a chance to lose small and win big. If you can change what you focus on and start looking at that, start searching for that, find the momentum. Right now, I don't have any momentum. I need it to close above that. That's going to open the door to momentum. Now I simply apply my strategy, my bull strategy, to this bullish momentum. That's how you make money. The money is secondary. Change what you're focusing on and you'll be so much more successful in trading. So again, we'll sit back, we'll see how this thing plays out, see when these alerts go off, see how it closes. I'm not just going to wait for a wick like this. I want a strong close. I want momentum building, and then on retest, I'll start planning my entry for the day. Some time has gone by on this. We rampaged back up and it did get stuck at that 590 mark. So now what I'm kind of looking at here though is this potential inverted head and shoulder. So back at this support level could be pretty good for some type of bounce. So I do like how strong the bulls came in here. Really, the bears should have never let it get up above that level. So we do have some bull sentiment here. I still have the bullish bias. So now I'm trying to go, look, I could wait for it to get up above 590, and that would be a great move. And I really do think that probably 593 to 595 is still the play. Or I could try to get down here and buy off of this level here at 587. So it's also a really nice trend line matchup right here. So I like this. Something like this is kind of what I would be looking at. So a move back into, be a little bit lower, but a move back into this big trend line that we've bounced off of previously, I like it. So I'm going to start to look at some options here and potentially get into this trade. Most people make mistakes on options whenever they buy these things way too far out of the money. So I want to probably play this a little bit closer to the money. So I would say probably like either the 589 or the 588 strike calls would be the play. So I could do the 589 strike calls. And then what I'm going to do here, because this is a little bit of an aggressive entry, right? This is the safe entry up here, up above the confirmation. I love that entry. It's great. In fact, if it bounces up there, I will add more up there on this position. But here, what I want to do is I don't want to have necessarily a stop and play. I want to buy the amount that I'm okay to lose. So I am going to structure it where I don't need a stop. The amount you spend on the option is what you can lose. And so in this instance right here, I'm going to put on about $300 to $500 max loss of a trade. That's what I have. That's what I'm okay to lose. If it doesn't bounce, I can't lose more than that. If it does work, I should be able to make 200 or 300% return on that. So again, I'll be looking at these 589 strike calls. They expire today. I've kind of starting to figure out my size a little bit here on what I want. And then I'll let my group know that this is the plan. And then we'll see here about testing the waters. Again, this is a setup where I can know I'm right or wrong very quickly. So it's either going to bounce very strongly out of here, or it's going to just break through and not really do a whole lot. And so then I can cut. So again, it's my job to lose small, win big. I have a scenario where I believe I can get there. The bulls showed me some strength. They did struggle at that big 590 level, which we expected. But if it can make its way back down into this trend line, which is also this left shoulder head, potentially forming this right shoulder, we can see if this can make a big move, and this would be a great trade if it's going to be there. If not, I can lose small. So if it gives me that opportunity to get down into this range around 587.50, I will look to play this thing. If it just bounces right on out of here and rampages, sorry, I can't talk, and rampages, then I'll just go back to my original plan of getting in on a strong close up above 590 on some retest, and we'll play from there. So this is going to be my first little leg in. I've waited for the markets to show me their hand. I have a bull bias. I believe this has a pretty good chance of going higher. If not, I will lose small. If so, I will win big. And then that's what's going to be successful as a trader. That's it. I don't need to do anything else. I don't need to try to make sure that this bounces. I just need to make sure that I lose small and then I win big. So now it is back into the buying spot where I believe some bulls are going to try to be at. And then I just go ahead and
order
filled on that last one there. So now I just update my group, let them know we are into this position. Now I would expect this to hold. It can go a little bit lower than this, but really if the bulls are going to be here, this support should start pushing us a lot higher. Now this is a big scary bear candle, but you've got to look at the big picture. Where's the overall momentum? Where are these bulls at? The markets were just pulling back into that area. It should bounce. If it crashes down through here, which is possible, If it crashes down through here, I'll give it about 10 minutes or so to see if any lower wick trapping wicks come in. If it continues to close strong through this buying area and not really doing a whole lot, I will just exit the day trade for a small loss and look for my next opportunity. This is a little bit of an aggressive entry. That's why I'm doing this with options. That's why I'm doing it with smaller size, so to say, in the fact that it's like I just bought the amount that I'm okay to lose. That way, if it doesn't, bounce really all that much, I'm only down like half an R at that point instead of risking my full amount. So if it does bounce, well, then now I'm already in a winning position by the time it gets to the spot where I want to actually get in, which is above 590. So first things first, this thing needs to show some support that it's trying to hold. At the moment, it is. We'll see if it actually follows through. In another 15 minutes, I'll know how good of an entry this was or not. But no matter what, I've set myself up to lose small, and I've set myself up to be able to win big. So that's the only thing I can control at the moment. Let's see if these bulls will step in. We've got to start getting some closures outside of some of these trend lines, but really up above 590. If we can get a closure above 590, retest, I will look to add some more, and then that should open the door for yesterday's highs, probably back up into 593 to 595, and we'll go from there. If the bulls don't step in through here, I'll give it a little bit of time, and I'll lose small, and I'll wait for my next setup. So we'll just see how this thing plays out. All right, so a little update. I went ahead and just closed out of the calls that I got in down through here. I'm not seeing the bull excitement. Whenever I get into a trade, this is the spot where I know bulls are at. We tried, we failed. Once we got this candle closed and then we got a little bit of this retest, I went ahead and cut. Can this bounce again? Yeah, sure. But I'm not seeing the excitement from the bulls that I want to see. Whenever you hit a really strong buying area, it should do something like this. It should really run. And I was playing off of this trend line, and you can see we held it for about 10 minutes and then failed. So instead of me going, well, let's just hope that it starts to bounce, I can get out of here with the price action telling me it's not working for a very small loss. Very, very small loss. So whatever I was risking, right, is 1R. That's your risk unit. I lost 0.2 Rs. Whenever I'm right, I make about 2 to 4 Rs. And so when you're wrong, if you lose 20 bucks, but when you're right, you make 300 or 400, you're going to be a very successful trader. Again, can this bounce? Yes. I just don't like this price action here. This price action is telling me the bulls are not trying to play this area. Things can change, but this is very, very weak. So I get in where I know the bulls should be at. They didn't follow through. I'm out for a very, very small loss. I will try it again, but now I'm not going to just pick the levels. I'm going to make the bulls claim levels. So now I'm going to start waiting for 589 to 590 to actually get strongly broken above before I start before I start thinking, okay, the bulls are in control, because the bulls are not showing me anything here. So if I can get out for a very close to break-even loss after the bulls didn't give me my strength that I wanted, I'll take it. Again, does it mean that it can't bounce? No. It just means I want to see strong sentiment right away in that area. I gave it 10 minutes. It failed miserably. I'm not going to sit around and hope that this works. This price action is telling me it could go higher, but this price action is telling me the bulls are not here. I wanted something like this. I wanted strong candle, which I got here, and then no follow through. It actually broke to the downside, which tells me bounces are probably going to get rejected back down. For now, we'll see. So lost very, very small, trying to be aggressive here. Fantastic. That was part of my plan. Now I'm going to wait for some more confirmation, go back to plan A here, go back for more confirmation, see if it'll retest, and see if I can't catch some bull momentum on that route. But for right now, the bulls are not telling me they're very strong. This is where they should be loading in at. And instead, they kind of just failed. So I'm going to read that, take my small loss, and then wait and see if these bulls will claim back this area over here. Again, I don't care if this bounces without me. That's not my job. My job is to get in on trades, and I stay in on trades when I get reactions like this. If I can get a reaction like that or like that, I stay in the trades. If not, I cut for a very small loss, and then we sit back and we wait and see if these bulls are going to give me some new areas up through here. All right, a little bit of time has gone by. I'm really happy with my small loss right here. Again, this type of price action is telling me the bulls are just not here to follow through. I wanted to see a lot more excitement, and there's a chance that it can just leave without me, but I didn't like what I saw here. Cut and lose very, very small. So now it's about reassessing where I'm at. If these bulls are going to be here, I'm going to wait for some strong closures up above this 589, still around 590 level as well. But I like this trend line down. If the bulls are going to be here, I'm going to wait for a move up above that before I try to go bullish. Now, what about for the bears? Well, again, I have a bull sentiment and a bull lean for today. So I think that it's going to be pretty tough to get a sustained bear move for today, unless we start taking out some of these key levels. So for me, what I want to look at, I want to see this support coming through here. Oh, let's see, where is this at here? Around like 587 or so. If we're getting strong closures outside of 587, then there's a chance that these bears are going to potentially start working their way back down into 583. So 583 was the daily expected move. Kind of see it on this line here that I set up before the markets opened. So 583 would be the target on that. If these bulls do not end up holding some of these supports and we strongly break below this, then that would open up the door for rips to get shorted again here to take this back down into that 583 mark. So I would need some really strong bear momentum to shift my bullish outlook on this, and we very well could get that. But I also want to pay attention to some support lines coming back through here. It's possible that we're just going to come down and then start to bounce pretty strong again because we have a bullish sentiment on the daily chart. So that's what I'm again leaning towards. I think bear plays are going to be tough. Again, every time we get a bear play, it gets a strong bull rip, and we've had this price action for quite a few days now. So that's why, again, I'm being reluctant to really want to short this, because I feel like that's going to be the harder money. But at the same time, the bulls are just not doing what they need to do. So there's a chance that today is just a nothing day. It's just a small chop, inciting Friday, nothing really going on. That's possible. So I am going to put alerts on these charts here, reassess some new levels, and then just wait for my opportunities to come to me. Again, shorts, I would need to see some really strong bear moves and holding, but based on the past that we've had here on every one of these bear moves, they've been bought up really strongly. And so it's just been tough to short. I'm just going to sit back. I'll wait and see if these markets will give me a little bit better opportunity. But for right now, bulls not doing their job, not coming back in. It would make sense for another bounce back up into 588 and then another rejection back through. So we'll see if that ends up playing through. But again, my bias before the market even opened was bullish. And so that's kind of where I want to lean towards. I want to trade when the markets are aligning with what I'm seeing and when I'm seeing what the markets are doing. So right now, I'm not getting the bull strength. I'm not trading. If I can get some strong bull moves back up above 589, then let's party again. We'll try it again, see if we can lose small, win big, and see what opportunities come our way. But for right now, I'm just sitting back. I'm waiting. Bulls didn't come in where they should have. That could start bringing in some big bear momentum, but I don't trust the bears at this moment yet at these levels. Well, my friend, price action doesn't lie. I'm glad we paid attention to the clues here that the bulls were not there. This is how you can lose small and win big instead of having large losses, hoping that things work and then just getting beat up. Again, bulls never showed us that they were here. We saw those small signs, closed out of it. This is where the bulls had to be, and then it just fell all apart. So now I'm actually expecting a little bit of a bounce down through here. We'll see how strongly we close, but a bounce back into this area and then maybe a retest back over is probably more likely for today. There's a chance that I'm done, but I'm really happy with this exit of just getting in. We're not getting that type of momentum, and so then we closed. And so now we're back into some pretty big areas now on the markets. Let's see if they end up bouncing and how this thing plays out. All right, a little update. So the markets have fallen pretty hard. They came down to the daily expected move, and so I took advantage of this big drop at a nice support and a nice options level, and I just went ahead and sold some way out of the money same-day expiration bull put spread. So I did that over here on the SPX. I was able to sell the 57.85 that expired today after this big of a drop, and it just paid me out the door. What I just made is about 1% of my trading account on that. So yeah, I didn't want to short any of this because all these bear moves have been getting bought up really hard. This time, that wasn't the case. The bears actually followed through. I had missed the entry. I didn't want to chase it anyways. But once it came down to this area where I really wanted to pay attention to based on the options, I went ahead and sold that bull put spread and made really easy money. So there's always ways to make money. There's always ways to adapt if you just understand what to look for and understanding the opportunities that are in front of you. So I had to stop my workout. This alarm went off really fast because this dropped really quick. I ran over, looked at what was paying, found my credit spread, and went ahead and sold that. And then all it needed to do was just hang out sideways for 30 minutes, which it did. I just wanted to show you the timestamps of that credit spread of what I got into. So this is today's time here, 10:30 my time, whenever I got into this. And so kind of explaining to the group here what I was planning on doing, the limit that I got filled at. So I got paid at 30 cents, sold these way out of the money. And then just a little bit longer, a little while later, about 11:06 a.m. my time here Mountain, I got filled, exited at 0.10. So not too bad. So we're doing a $30,000 account challenge on that. That's what we're doing these trades on. So just wanted to give you a timestamp of what I was doing on these just so that you could follow along with it. If you're interested in credit spread strategies, it won't be this day trading strategy one, but credit spreads are amazing opportunities. I sell these things out on a monthly basis for longer term plays. If you're interested in those, then we offer the free strategy here at Real Life Trading where I'll show you my credit spread strategy completely for free. You get all of it, the entire thing. So if you're interested in that, I'll put down links down below in the description for that strategy. But this is a different strategy that I do for 0 DTEs. And again, it's just all about adjusting and adapting. We got in bullish here. So we tried a day trade right here. The bulls did not give me any excitement that I wanted to see. So we cut it. And I'm glad we did, or else that would have been a pretty large loss, right? Moved on down through here. Again, the options that I set myself up would have protected me anyways, but still, it would have been a lot more of a loss than what we actually took. And then once this thing ran down, I had the second game plan. As you can see here, I marked this out. The expected move for the day right here, this purple line. Once we came down here, my alarm went off on that. I was like, okay, we're at the expected move on the day. I'm going to potentially look at selling some bull put spreads, get paid some money, just with my understanding that there's a very low probability that this thing continues to drop another 3 or 4% without any pullback. All I need this to do is just go sideways for a little bit. So adapting, adjusting, I was able to hit my goal for the day, offset my small loss on the day trade, and was able to hit my goal through selling a bull put spread. Could I go and take more trades now? Yes, potentially. We're working our way back into a bear area where the bear should be stepping back in and rotating back on over. But the market hasn't really done what I wanted it to do, which means I'm thinking it's going to do one thing and it's doing the other. I am not really in sync with the markets like I'd want to be. I want to trade when I am in sync. I want to trade when I'm aligned with these markets. And at the moment, I am not. So this is a pretty normal day in life for me. I look for opportunities. I take them. I'll have some losers. I'll have some winners. But there's always a way to make money if you just know what to look for. I had this trade planned out before the day even opened, took it, and that was able to hit my goal very easily instead of even having to day trade on this. So now that I'm not really in sync with these markets, I thought we'd be going bullish. They went bearish. I'm going to sit back and I'm just going to wait for some more opportunities, some more setups. Let this build a bigger picture, a better picture for me on who's in control, because right now the bears are. We just flipped trend short term here. So I'm done for the day, most likely. I've hit my goal. If I can get some amazing opportunities, I'll take them. Really, at this point, would just be a bull move up above 589, because now these bears would be trapped and that would be moving, and I'm already having that bullish sentiment start of the day. So I'm good to just sit back. We'll see what happens. That's a very low chance of that happening, by the way. But if it does, it could be a very strong bull move that I could potentially make some more money on a day trade with. But that's it for me, my friends, at the moment. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I just took you along again for what I do on a normal day here in trading, how I analyze these markets, the levels that I'm looking at, how I'm looking at playing these things, what I want to pay attention to, and you just find a way to make money. You take whatever opportunities the markets give you. There's always an opportunity. You just need to be able to know what to look for. So love y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If this is the end of the video, I didn't take any more trades. If I come back, then that means the crazy bull move came, and then I'll take you along for the ride on that trade as well. But hit my goal for the day. I'm probably done. Love y'all.